of Real Talk with Carl and Charlene. You see me laughing here because we just getting it in right before the show. This is exactly what we do. I was going to invite my new co-host along with the co-host, my co-host Shadow,
Keep
but
playing.
he's
Keep
somewhere
playing.
chilling. He's
Keep
somewhere
playing.
chilling in the background today.
Yeah.
He will probably make an appearance because he's always, and we're talking about her
Stop
cat.
talking.
We
Stop talking.
always he
Stop
always
talking.
makes an appearance, whether it's some noise in the background. He let me know that he watching the show. Hey,
And
Charlene, what's going on? We got exciting information going on today. We maybe we'll see how things work out. We may have a special guest for you guys as well, but we're bringing you another edition, and we're talking about something today. First of all, I just want to thank everybody who's going to stop by and drop in from where you're tuning in from. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We do want to hear from you as well. Also, drop in topics. You want us to cover shows? We got shows now on Tuesday and Thursday, and we're just doing it. We're just doing it. I'm not going to say doing it big because we don't have a big heads. We're just doing it for our communities, doing it for networking, doing it for leveling up in business and in life. And we're just sharing tips. And we're going to have guests on continuously to give us tips as well. We got a busy week this week. Looking forward to our show on Thursday. Also, where we're going to be having someone on that's dropping the gems. We're going to tell you who that is later on this evening, this afternoon, after we get done with the show. But right now, I'm going to turn it over to my co-host. What's up, Charlene? What's going on this Tuesday
going
morning?
on? Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. As you know, I've been getting my podcast together, so it launched. Dropped another episode this morning,
Good.
based off a conversation that I had with one of my coaches. She was like, this would be a good topic, and I was like, all right, let's try it out. So it was all about, is your brand and why is your brand not bringing in bank? Why is it not
Mm.
helping you really sustain yourself?
Oh,
Hello, everybody. I see y'all dropping in. I see y'all
what's up,
dropping
peeps? Appreciate you guys.
in. And it was a great conversation on Clubhouse. I made that. I already made it an episode on the podcast, so I released it today because it was ahead of time. It wasn't even supposed to be the next one, but I was like, you know what, bump that. People like this topic. Let's put it up.
Let's put it
Um,
out there.
so I think we should get into that another time. Um, but just about making sure that whatever you're doing in your business, you are clear, you're concise, and you are consistent.
Yes, absolutely. We're talking about today, and it's something that I think all of us as entrepreneurs, all of us as business people, all of us as just people in general. We're not even put it to the functionality of an entrepreneur, but just people in general, even in your life and even in your business. Now that we're talking about both of those subjects, our topic: Are you trusting the wrong people? I
Hmm.
think I think we may be able to cover that more so in business because on this business platform and we're sharing that. But this is also coming in essence of your personal as well. Are you having the right ones around you? I know it's a thing. I've talked to a few people that talk about those five people that influence you. That five people in that circle, and a majority of us, if you just ask us real quickly, we're going to include mom. We're going to include maybe a sibling. You know what I mean? We're going to include those in the circle, and there's nothing wrong with that. In the essence that, and believe me, I'm not trying to talk against that, but sometimes are they the ones that are really giving it to you real to push you where you need to go? Are you in those circles where his mom, she's patting you, giving you that confidence still as a parent, saying, oh, you could do it? Or is she really like telling you, yo, that's trash? You need to go back, revisit that. Sometimes I think if we have these kind of people in our circle, we can elevate ourselves. What do you think about that, Charlie?
I think it's a mix because we get so tied and connected to our friends, our families, and their opinions, but then we have to realize they're most likely may not be business people. If you are a first generation business owner, you're moving into the status of you're becoming a millionaire, you're getting money, but you're not getting money because you just want to spend it and do frivolous things. You're actually reinvesting in yourself, in your business, in your family, but you have things that you really need to take care of. So you need people around you who understand how things are changing around you, who understand how to really build with you and help you build. So I've been learning hard lessons that stop asking folks to help, especially if you realize they give you a bunch of lip service. They're not taking action. You need to be around action takers who understand how to get a business on and popping. And if they don't know, they're connected to others who know what you need so they can help you grow. And that's something that I've been learning a lot lately, especially with Deanna's help, Deanna Jean. She's all about intentional networking and bringing people into your circle for purposes that not only you can benefit from, but others in the community can benefit from. So just knowing, like, if you have doctors in your community, who, what kind of doctors are they? Maybe somebody one day needs a OBGYN. Maybe someone needs someone for cancer and things like that. You need to understand who's in your network, where are their strengths, and how can they support everyone else around you. Almost like it, that saying, it takes a village. So if that's the case, then we need to know who in the village does what. you know?
Yeah, that is definitely the key to success because everyone has their own strengths, and a lot of times when you're hanging around these people, I even delve a little bit deeper in the essence of my network, and when you look at the people that you're involved in, and I know even when you're starting a network, and I'm starting to notice it as I'm looking at trends and as I'm studying different things and trying to see what works, what performance is effective, what things to put out are effective, what people are really gaining, what's really gaining traction with people. I look a lot of times that even in our networking, we tend to carry on those same habits in that networking. We tend to kind of smooth toward those that are kind of like generating the same thing. And I think that in the essence of me talking to clients and training people and retraining the mindset that you
Mhm.
have to, I think it's very, very popular. Well, most people may agree with it, or they may say it, but not actually do it. I think it's very popular to start being involved in a network with people that are totally opposite from you.
Yeah.
Totally opposite. I mean, nothing in common because it's easy to gravitate to a commonality, right? You have something that's in common with me, or we have a conversation. I've always dared myself to have a conversation with someone who I have nothing in common with. And I think that's always been educational too. And what I'm finding out, even in the networks that people are networking with, they tend to go around and continue on their networking past where they are to those same, they gravitate to those same maybe 10, 20 people in their network. And these are people with high numbers in their network as followers or engagers or people that engage with you. We're missing so many opportunities when we're going with this familiarity. I think if we come out of that, then we'll learn how to trust, who to trust, where to trust, because our feelings will come out of play and the things that we need to carry us forward will come into play. Then you can start putting those antlers out. Yeah, I kind of trust what they're saying. But when we're study staying in the same loophole, in the same circle, we're going to still feel those same things. And it's not going to be able to be something that engages us to move forward and propel out of the hole, if you can say that, that we're in.
And especially if you, it's, I guess it's your real world algorithms where
Yeah.
you're so into this rut. You don't realize it because you're in the same space. You're
Mhm.
talking to the same people, you're doing the same things. And it becomes not just redundant, but it's actually not allowing you to grow. So if you're not expanding who you're hanging around with, who are you talking to, if you're not expanding that, then you start to miss out on other opportunities that may be around you. And it's also telling where, if you have a network where there are people in it and they have connections but they're not introducing you, then what is the disconnect? Why are they not trying to broaden your space? Or are you not asking enough? Are you not being clear and saying, hey, let's do something? But then where does that I guess for you, where would we really step in and say we shouldn't have to keep begging people to do stuff or help us? Where do we really jump in and say, okay, now I got to do my own shift? Maybe I just got to break away from this group of people and do something different.
Yeah, I think it jumps in for me. This is basically, and I think this is something that all people current, even when I'm talking about the vulnerability and how that plays in a part, that plays a very integral part into your personality and what you draw. And when you use vulnerability as your strength, you can now weed out the things that you're constantly going in a circle about. I call it the hamster effect. When you're in that circle and you're just the hamster is rotating continuously on the wheel because it's familiar, But once the hamster comes out of that wheel and is let out into a box of freedom, they really don't go that far. And that's because their mindset is always in that rotation of circle. So we
Mhm.
be fall into that the same way. We start getting ideas, we start formulating ideas, we start tapping into ones whom we think we can help. And a lot of time they're not understanding it because a lot, and I know, and I'm following to this myself, I'm telling you from experience, there's not an articulation in what you want to do versus what's in your mind. A lot of
Right.
times we have things in our mind that I have a whole city up here, but I don't even have a builder on the outside that even know how to formulate my bricks. So these are the things that we have to get out of our mind. And vulnerability tells us that because we stay away from those things thinking that people can't hurt. But when you open yourself up and
Mhm.
understand who can, who can't, regardless of whatever, what's going to happen relationship wise, then we can start to trust people because you'll understand once you open up and you start letting people into certain areas of what you want to do, you'd be surprised who will pick that up and say, yo, I wanted to do that too, just didn't know how. Let's see if we can kind of get together and know that. And that is what networking really is. Networking is really past a social party where you just want to get with people, especially in today's time and with businesses doing work today. So it may have been before socializing, you know what I mean, the ballroom kind of thing. But today, when you're talking about networking, you're talking about collaborations, you're talking about projects, you're talking about things that's going to either build you, move you forward, or you're coming into something that's going to be a great outcome for you and the person that you're collaborating with. So when you're network, you got to bring something to the table. I can't come to network because I'm handsome. I can't come to network because I didn't pass laws. I didn't pass law school. What are you doing now? Can you articulate what you want to bring to the table? And this is something that I really learned. And not that I said I couldn't have conversations or couldn't be social, I couldn't carry on direct opportunities for me to talk about things. But when you're in business, you're on people's time, and their time is money. So if you don't have the capabilities of articulating and say, yo, this is what I bring, this is what I can do, this is what I can do for you, this is how we grow. Man, I learned how to do that. And you learn how to do that going outside your circle. Because people around me for years were saying, yo, man, you sound good. You sound good. Yeah, well, I wasn't
But
getting.
not even that you're learning it because you're outside the circle, but there are people who are teaching you because
Yes, yes,
if you don't know any better, how do
right,
you
true,
know what to do differently?
true. That is true because you don't know, and you continuously in that cycle of okay, I think I'm doing okay. You having people that's not really pushing you to your limits, and, those kind of things. You're not having people engaging you past first base. That's really the title that I give it. You can go past first base. A lot of times we can make that okay. I like. Okay, I love. Okay, that was great post, inspirational, inspiring. I
Mhm.
mean, those to me is first base. But what has happened since that point? What does that person have that can help you elevate yourself, or what is it that you bring to them that can push them to a level that they haven't been? And that to me is true networking because it is just that you netting your work. So you putting it together, you saying, okay, what can come of this?
Yeah, and Martin over here dropping a lot of intel and good
Yeah, he
conversation.
is dropping the bombs.
I'm like, okay, sir, because it's true. You have to be aware of what is the value you're bringing to other people. Like,
Yeah.
what's really going on? Because the last thing you want to do is be someone who's always taking,
Oh
and you're not
no.
able to give, and you're not able to give to someone. It doesn't have to be the person who's giving to you, but you should be able to give to someone else.
Yeah, you should be able to add value. And when I say that, because that term is thrown around really on LinkedIn or other platforms. I know more so on LinkedIn because that's really where I do a lot of my business and work. Value is a term that is thrown around tremendously. It reminds me when I first started this, everybody talked about authentic. It's a term that has taken on this meaning that it has to be such a great thing. But do you know if you know something and someone else doesn't know it, that's your value? Doesn't matter what it is. It's not a great thing that you have to have. It is something that is yours that you fine tune and that you can offer to someone who has no idea about it. So when you look upon that, I thought about that when I came into coaching and consulting. I was like, oh my God, I did a trending search. It's like 340 something million coaches. Like, and I'm saying, okay, well, I'm gonna make it 340, whatever that number was, right? So I
Was
said,
it on
okay, well, what's
LinkedIn
gonna be
alone? Is that LinkedIn alone?
I was like, yeah, how am I going to be the standalone, right? So I started saying, okay, well, what is really great about you? What is really that brings it to the table that's going to say, oh, yo, that's why my title and what I say, my slogan. a different consultant for a different time because we're so used to consultants just being that, okay, you're a business dude, you know this, you're a life dude, you know this, or you're a guru in the fitness, you know that, and we putting them in those categories. I say, how about vulnerable? What can you do with that? That is you. You bring that to every level that you're on. And I said, that's the niche right there because that's who I am. And that
Right.
what made my coaching stand out. So now I'm not just one of the 342 million. I am in number, but I am offering greater things than those other 341 because I'm one that's offering something that you haven't dealt with. Don't even tell me you have. I know I did the homework.
Right. Martin said three
347 million.
and me.
Yes, Martin, we add you to that as well.
That should be the tagline.
I like that, Martin. I like that, right?
Because
347 is good.
and I felt the same way. You always hear, "Oh, I could do website. I could put a website up in 2 seconds. I could put up." And I realized my value isn't just throwing up something random. My value has always been setting people down and understanding what is the purpose of this. Because at the end of the day, everything you're supposed to do in your life should have a purpose. Either you're having fun, you're just BSing, whatever it is, but you had a purpose. You're doing it for a reason. And it's the same thing in your business. So whenever we're putting together tools, we're gathering what should we use. It's always about why do you need it, not because someone told you need it, but you specifically, what are you going to do with it? Just like when we're gathering up all this information in the world, we're learning all these stats, we're learning all these, we're reading all these books. What are you going to do with all that information? Just let it rot? So it's unless you understand why you're using why you're collecting the information, how are you going to use the information, then it really serves you no value, no purpose. It's really understanding what is the reason for you to really go and check these things out. What's up,
Yeah,
Bernie?
yeah. They talk about that. Hey, Bernie, thanks for talking. Martin had said something that was great that I also use as a Martin. Maybe we more in line than I thought. People need what you bring,
Mhm.
and I say that all the time, and that goes along with that value. When you're looking at that and you're thinking about that, yeah. And I was definitely want to say, oh, website, psh, man, you got to be kidding me. I can make one. I know we talked about this many times, and this
The
is just
990 free
yeah,
website.
it's the core of it. I was like doing one of the commercial. I think it's a commercial, and they got the little tax commercial where it say free, 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 free. I was looking up all of those kind of things because I just knew in my mind that websites can't be that hard, and that's the misjudgment that we take upon each and every genre of business that goes on. I
Mhm.
don't care what it is. I know people who say that I was a GM at Chick-fil-A for a few years, and people used to always say, "Oh man, it's easy being managed. You got money coming out the street." I was like, "Do you know how hard it is to manage not only people?" but to manage production and to manage Chick-fil-A business. We talking about a 13, $14 million a year store. So it goes more into, what you really have to do than the basis of what it looks like on the outside. When I started my website, I didn't told you guys pictures was the thing for me. If it was pretty, I thought it worked.
You
Those
sure
things,
did.
yeah, those things are not those things are not the case. And she does remind me of that every time I look at my new website, which is so beautifully put together now by Miss Brooklyn Custom Designs. You guys go check it out. Carl Sean, free plug. Carl
Because
Sean
it's put
Watkins.
together with a purpose.
It is a perfect, and that's something I wanted to get back to. I'm glad you reeled me in back on that because a lot of times we do things and we are thinking about it for our own self. Someone first told me when I started saying a lot of things about my business that I didn't like that. And they went all in on me, and I was like, yo, what are you talking about? It's like that is not for you. Like, and a lot of times we build these businesses, we build and we pour all this into it based upon what we like, based upon how we think it should look, based upon how I think it should function. But when I start looking at it, start listening, real talk listening to other people's, directing the traffic, so to speak, I was like, yo, you're right. That don't have nothing to do with me. Like
Mhm.
effectively, that don't have nothing to do with Carl. Take that out and take those out, and then your projects will be just that. They'll be so much greater. They'll be
Yes.
so much in line with who you want to serve rather than who you're trying to be because it'll show you. You know what I mean? I
Because
like
just like going back to, are you trusting the wrong people? So
yes.
it's also about understanding what you need from people. So if you coming and you're saying, okay, you know what, I want to start a business, I need a coach, because that's always a thing. You should invest in a coach or someone who can help you get the structure and an understanding on what you need to really do in the business to get you to the next level. Because we're all in business to make money. Your business should be generating some type of fund to keep you running and then keep itself running, because the last thing you want to keep doing is relying on your personal funds to drive your business. So we go back to the point of you're in business to make money. So, as you're doing this, how are you going to do that? How are you going to take your purpose in your life? And the purpose can be helping children, helping women, helping men, helping animals, whatever that purpose is, you want to give back to the world. But how are you going to be able to fund that dream, purpose, whatever? So now you have to trust the person that you're calling your coach to sit there and be someone who is not going to interject their personal beliefs into what you're doing. However, they're going to actually, without any reservation and with pure honesty but respect, they're going to look at what you're doing, look at what your purpose is, and look at what your goal is, and they're going to help you align the two, so you can not only create a foundation to build on, but you're actually allowing yourself to build a business that can be sustainable. So when you find the coach, you have to understand what is that coach's strength. Maybe you have a coach, but their strength is not helping you build a business strategy. Their strength is to help you with the mindset. So if your coach is there for mindset, then you got the wrong coach if you're trying to build a business strategy, right? So a lot of times we are just in a wrong pool. We don't realize it because we're not asking enough questions. We're not reaching out to enough people. We're not expanding our reach. So all of that comes back to, are you networking properly? Are you networking with intention? If you know you need a coach to build a business strategy, then you need to start asking your network, hey, do you know someone who's a coach who does that? Specifically, not just a business coach, not a random coach. You don't need a personal coach. You don't need a dating coach. You need a coach who's going to help you build your business. So it's all about understanding who do you need in your circle and asking specifically for that person to be added to your circle.
And you can't know that, you can't know that. I know we had talked about it earlier, and I had, and I'm sure if you've been on LinkedIn, you've seen her. You're not on just on LinkedIn, but I was beginning to work with Ellie Red Cloud and her digital masters. Man, she's a beast on that marketing, and we used to do sessions once a week. And I used to just send her stuff because I'm the writer, innovator, idea guy. I used to just send her stuff, and she was like, "Well, what's really your purpose?" And I said, "I'll send you some stuff so you can see what I'm talking about, right?" Because sometimes you have to really understand your purpose. Because I got into this alignment, and not just me, and even now with the ones I coach and train now, I'm so precise with that I'm carrying that on for others to also get that. Because you get into that, oh man, I just want to help the world, right?
Mhm.
Like you got these talents, you got these gifts, you have this career path that you've taken, that you're good in, that you're exceptional in, that you've got an expertise in, and you just figure you can just blanket the world with that. Not the same thing. So you
Yeah.
have to get down into, you hear people all the time talk about these niche and these, but you don't know your niche until someone drives it out of you. Because a lot of times when you're thinking of things on your level, you're just thinking of a total big picture, but the world don't work in a big picture. Like
Right.
Charlene says, there's those steps. I was thinking about being a business coach. I say a business coach. Okay, if you got the term business in front of coach, I'm thinking, or you're thinking that this person is aligned with you, but they're not purpose driven. They may have the things in one area, but you're suffering in so many other areas that what they've given you not going to even work. So you
Mhm.
have to be, and you have to ask those questions. I really, really found that out to be so true. You have to ask those questions. You have to be able to delve into. It's almost being an investigator, and me being on the terms of being an attorney. You have to ask those questions because you want to seek those answers and get the people who can answer those questions. When you're thinking about the websites, and you think, and Charlene does a great job with the strategy. Oh man, you guys, I know Martin. I saw you down there, Martin. You was talking about you want to build the best
Yeah, I
website
saw
ever.
Mark.
Martin, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, from experience, get your pen and pad out, bro, because she got a notebook of questions. If you don't have the answers, you're gonna be up the creek without a paddle. So I'm gonna tell you now, when you get, but what it done for me, and what is really zoned down in a true funnel, not these creative funnels. So we like to say, okay, put people in a true funnel of actual people that can be actual clients that you can actually work and transform. Is the questions that she asked me to make an answer, and once I answered those questions, not only did it become plain for her to see what the design, it became plain for me to understand who I can help. And those are the kind of things that I think in business sometimes we don't. And it's not like we business dummies. We don't have all the answers, but you got to
Mhm.
believe we're not Macy's. We're not we're not Bloomingdale's. We're not these structured companies who've been around for long periods of times that have all of these resources. We are solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, low levelpreneurs that we really need to take advantage of things when they're given to us.
But we need to stop comparing ourselves to companies who are what how many decades in the game and realize that they too started at the bottom. They
Uh,
started in a position where they weren't where they are now.
Yes, William H. Macy, for y'all who don't know, he started selling shoes out his garage, I think it was, if I remember the story. So he didn't have a store. His garage was a store. William
Everybody,
H. Macy.
and let's just keep it all the way 100. Most of these multi quadrillionaires, all their stories start in somebody's garage. I
Yeah,
don't got a
Fubu
garage.
man, he sold out his truck. He sold out the trunk of his car, right?
Trunk of cars,
Mr. Drake,
garages.
Draymond,
And I'm like,
Damon.
well, I'm like, that's a cute story, but that a garage will not be in my bio.
Yo, hey, it can be once you got established though. Then it takes away. It really puts in the semblance of you can start anywhere. I think that's really the point
Yes.
behind it. When Draymond, I think Damon, the Fubu guy, when he talked about his story of how he sold his clothes out of the trunk of his car. I
Yeah.
mean, Jay Z started selling his mixtapes out the trunk. I mean, that gives you. I mean, it's awesome. It's nice to hear. It's catchy. But this also gives me the idea that, hey, I can do it from anywhere. I can start it from anywhere.
But it's not just the start, it's about the resilience and
Yes.
knowing that you're going to keep pushing forward because when you get doors slammed in your face, people
Ooh.
laughing at your dreams, people laughing at you dead to your face. You're like, okay. Um, and you're not making sales, you're not doing anything. Your business feels like it is just struggling, it's stuck, it's not going anywhere, or you're in a corporate career,
Mm,
or let's just say because most times we're
talk
not
about
even saying career anymore, we're just saying corporate job
yes.
because there's no path anywhere. There's a path to the end of the door. Like, okay. So when you're doing stuff like that, you really need to start understanding, okay, how are you how are you going to push through those tough times? What is that purpose that got you started? Is that strong enough to keep you going? Is that strong enough so you can now become the next Fubu creator? Or is it going to be strong enough that you will be the next Jay-Z in your career or your industry or whatever that may look like for you? Are you do you have enough of that heart, that drive to keep pushing forward through all the thousands of no's you're going to hear, through the empty messages that you're going to receive? When you send out your email list is 1,000 and you might have gotten two opens. How are you going to keep pushing forward to say, oh, okay, this is me. I know those two that open, those are my people. Like, like what is going to really be that purpose to keep you pushing forward? And it's like I said, it's still depending on once you understand that, once you can really connect and understand that, that becomes your story. Most people don't realize that. Your brand story, they hear it all the time. What's your message? What's your story? Your story really comes from your purpose. Why did you start this? What made you feel like, oh, I have to start a business? Because you could have done anything. You could have done a charity. You could have kept it as a hobby. But you said, nope, I want to go legit. I want to go file for my EIN number. I'm going to
Yes.
go look for some grants.
Yes.
What was the purpose of that? And then once you understand, okay, you know what, this is legit. I'm going to stick to this. I have to keep going. I can't give up now. Kind of situation. That's how you always have it in the back of your mind. I ain't gonna fail. I can't
Yeah.
fail today, or I'll fail, but I have to keep going. I have to get
You
up
got
again,
to keep going.
or let me cry for 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna keep it moving. Because sometimes that happens. Tears happens in business.
Oh man, yeah, they happen. Yeah.
Happens in business.
Yeah.
Um, it's just, what, when if you have that, they say, purpose driven life, then you really understand. You don't care who has a party, you don't care who's doing what. If you know that you have something that needs to get done in order for you to get to the next level, then you have to push everything else aside. And not because you don't want to be there, but you need to get shit done. You need to push it to the side and focus on what your next goal is going to be.
You have to be driven. You hear so many, and you hear a lot of these terms. I wouldn't even necessarily say catchphrases or cliches, but that's what they in turn out to be. But they're so very true. We hear people saying your why. You definitely got to get an understanding of what that why is. It's not just a catchphrase say, "Oh, I'm doing this because this is my why." But you have to define that why, and that why. A lot of times you see people talk about. You hear people talk about, "I'm doing it for my family." I'm doing it for. When I decided to do this business, my family was not in the play. I'll just be honest and real with you. I didn't say I was going to start this business for my family. I came to the aspect of saying I have something to offer to people, and this is what is going to be driven. So I have to find those people that want what I need. I mean, that want what I have, so I can deliver them. Now, does the family play a part in it? Yes, but a lot of people get hung up, and I won't say this in a bad way. I just say this in a way that the street that I've traveled, the journey I've traveled on, family has already taken up. They're not taking up, but they've already taken that place of where they're going to be a why. They're an
Mhm.
extension of me because they're already the why. They're my family. They're who
Right.
I've said that I'm going to take care of and who I'm going to do things for. So that is an automatic to me. I didn't think of it that way. I thought of my why and said, okay, well, why you really want to take this from doing this and training and coaching and presenting and doing all of this and speaking to corporate? Why did you want to take this to the level where you can say this is Carl's? And I wanted to because I wanted to define my message where I thought corporate was not taking advantage of it. And in the essence of where I thought that I can do that was me personally being able to put that out. Now, what that entails, it takes a hard work. It took me like 2 years now for me to even look on platforms and I see vulnerability in a session and no one is dogging nobody out about it. Nobody is saying, yo, dude, what is you talking about? So you can imagine how I felt a couple of years ago when I first did my vulnerability post and it got 2 comments and 1 like. But I didn't stop that. There was a perseverance and there was a driven there. And that was the why, because I wanted to make a change in how processes and perspective was. So yes, the family was included because I want them to reap the benefits of the harvest. But I also had an intentional why. And sometimes you have to define that because we can hide behind, well, what's your why? Yeah, I'm doing it to take care of my family. Yo, if you said I do to somebody, you owe them. If you had a child, you owe them. So they're
Mm.
already that why. They should already be that why. But find out business wise why you're doing what you're doing. Define that. Then that'll drive your purpose. That'll drive your vision. That'll drive your mission. You know what I mean? That's about as best as I can put it together.
That's right. And it's all, and for me, I've been fortunate to get into communities like Intentional Success Tribe, Growth
Yes.
Academy. Now I'm in part of Growthpreneurs, where I have you. That's why I met you. Um, yeah, sometimes it's like hit or miss.
Oh man, oh
I'm
man.
joking. I'm joking. But like that's why a lot of times this show came about, because I was not the person for video. But Carl was good. He was like, "Oh, you know what? Let's do this." I was like, "Okay." But like having somebody really cheer you on, support you, and my accountability partner Kale, he's the same thing in Growth Academy. We're making sure that, you want to put something out, let's get it on paper, let's figure it out, let's flush it out. And I had a nice chat with Shara Charlson, and Eileen, and we were just really going deep into each other's next product. What's the next idea you want to create? And we were like helping to tweak and say, well, that sounds cloudy. This sounds good. Update this. So the same thing that you and I ends up doing, because we end up calling each other down there every day now. And it's just to, not just for the show purpose, but just to say, okay, what are you doing? What are you working on? What's going on here? And it kind of keeps you accountable to make sure that you're actually keeping yourself moving and keeping your business growing, rather than you being complacent, because we already know how that feels when you complacent in
Yes.
life. You end up doing nothing. You end up being disgruntled. and and God knows if you're gonna end up on the ID channel or not. I'm watching.
Yeah,
I'm
and we ain't
taking
talking
notes.
about the real IDs either. We talking
We're
about
like,
the
oh,
investigative.
I was like, oh, that's what made you snap. Okay, duly noted. So, I mean, just stuff like that. Just knowing that you have to understand what your purpose is, what's your reasoning, and what do you need, and then you can start looking for the right people to trust your vision in, because that's the last thing you want to do is put your vision in the possession of someone else who's not going to help you, who's going to either take you, because there's a lot of things going on right now, people getting scammed left and right, because you have people scrambling when the pandemic hit, that people were scrambling to start something. They needed to get online, they needed to do something.
Yeah,
So the next, of course, and the those, whenever there's something bad happening in the world, all these scams start popping up. People
yeah,
want to do quick money, all this nonsense. So you start to lose money fast trying to do dreams, big dreams quickly.
yeah.
So it's all about really understanding what is it going to take. What do you have that stamina?
Yeah, and you have to take a leap of faith. Also, I want to bring that in as well because that plays a big part into you saying. I know when I was a big sports guy, I played basketball and football, and our mantra was yes, you can be prepared. Practice also prepares you and makes you the person to be able to perform at your job. But we also needed luck. We also needed the ball to bounce our way in order to win some games. It wasn't always about the preparation. So when you look at that as well, sometimes when you're feeling some kind of way about holding in your things and not
Hmm.
letting them out, or you're gonna have to like give to somebody at some point in time for you to develop. A lot of stuff I'll be having, and I'll be like, oh man. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, I hate to even run this by Charlene, but I know that I'm going to get the real in the answer. So a lot of things, even if I'm in my feelings about what this was, or I was passionate about this is my thing. I didn't spent all this time on it, not throw it across. And a lot of times it'd be that same thing. She'd be like, nah, that's not really not. And I'm like, I had to take the deep breath, right? Because I'm thinking like, okay, Carl, it's not about you. It's not about you. And sometimes you have to find someone that you could throw that off. And that's in the essence of trusting. Sometimes you have to trust with a little bit. Sometimes you have to give someone a little bit of something of what you're doing to try to hear. Because sometimes they have an ear, they have a voice that you haven't heard in the essence of what you're doing. And that can cause you to change directions and pivot to a greater level. Because a lot of times we hear stuff all the time, and our processes are how we process. A lot of times we hear good stuff. And I mean, I know from being a parent and telling the kids something, a lot of times I had my kids come tell me stuff that I told them years ago. And
Hmm.
they buddy or their buddy's parent or someone in their cycle has regurgitated what I've said. And they were
Yo,
like, yo, dad,
can't stand that.
they was
Yes.
like, yo, that dad, such and such told me. And I just stand there with I stand there with the gas face, like, you gotta be kidding me. Dude, I told you that 4 years ago. And it's not at
Hmm.
that point where that ear to hear sometimes is not always with those same ones in your network. That
Yeah.
ear to hear sometimes to be that foreign person who's saying, and when I mention foreign, I just mean out the network. It just means that person who hasn't been in your game, who don't know what you're doing, who ain't playing your ball, to say, yo, that don't even sound right. Now, this coming from someone else, that's an ear you need to hear. That's what you need. So there you start. You can only trust people if you give out things. If I'm gonna stand here and hold everything, I don't trust a closed hand. I can't put nothing in his hand. You know what I mean? So I gotta open it every now and then. If I want to get $1, I gotta
That's
open it
true.
up. So that's what we gotta do to trust people.
That's true. But look, we can go in
Yeah,
for a
we
long
go. We
time
go.
because you know
Martin,
how
we gotta hook up, man. Martin, I like Martin. I like Martin. We gotta get Martin on the show, Martin. Whenever you got
Martin,
time, man.
drop the links for
'Cause you,
Martin so Martin can
yeah,
fill that out.
we gonna
Get
drop it
them
for you,
people
Martin.
sheet together. Yes.
You be like Martin is like he's giving us some good things and some good
Yes.
stuff to talk about, and giving us that conversation piece where you need to bounce things off of people. Yeah, too many times. I can do that too with the TOO and the number two. I can add both of them in there because it
And
has
that's a fact right there. Especially when they, man, I can go in
and
for
then
this.
they come to you like you never said it. They
Or
come to you
no,
like they
no. What
told you
what what
something.
used to what used to get me? What used to get me, right? Because Miss Thing used to be on ABC. When they would hear the same thing coming out of Oprah's mouth. And they're like,
Oh
oh,
my God.
Oprah said this. And Oprah, I'm like, hold up,
I
hold
told
up,
you that.
hold up.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Do you have us on? Because I hear the audio, my friend.
No, I don't have us on.
Don't make me come for you.
But you know what that is? That's shadow. That's shadow. I
Uh-huh.
told you. I told you he'd
Don't
show
blame
up.
him. He out there minding his business, sleeping. Don't even bring him into this nonsense.
Uh, I'm about to drop this link for Martin, so you
Yes,
definitely
but
check
it really becomes. Are you ready to let people? Because a good friend and my mentor, Peter Sean, he used to always say, sometimes you got to leave him at the foot of the cross
Oh
and keep
wow.
it moving.
Wow, I like that one though. I like that one. I'm probably gonna,
I always keep it in the back of my mind.
I'm
There's
gonna put
just
that
some
as a
people.
post.
You just got to leave it for the cross. You can't bring everybody where you going. And the last thing you want to do is drag people over the
Mhm.
finish line because I'm not here for that. My back not built for that. Just plain and simple.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not doing it.
And
If
it's
you
not a necessity. You just want to have those people with you that want to go, that want to experience that want to go on that journey, that want to feel what you're feeling. And that's the essence of why you're sharing, because you want someone else to get those highlights of what you've done, what you've accomplished, what you've been through. You want to carry them on a journey. I don't want to carry nobody on a journey. I think the Bible tell you mostly, how can two walk together except they agree? So
well,
if you ain't walking with me, you're not agreeing with me, brother. It's nothing that we got in common. And so
well,
it's no need for me to kind of pull you my direction because I'm exerting too much energy. Now, if you're walking with me, if you get tired, I can bring you because you're coming with me.
there you go.
You going the other direction, homie. See ya.
There you go. Like
See
I,
ya.
I don't need drag marks behind me. No, thank you. I don't need drag marks behind me. My
No,
you see
no,
my wrist. You see my wrist. Like I got work
no.
to do. I can't
I,
do all that. No, we're good.
I can't fool with that. Somebody put foot of the cross. I feel you on
Yes,
that. I
yes.
feel you on that
I
because if
feel
you
like that's pretty strong because right now I'm seeing a LinkedIn user. I know she likes to be incognito sometimes. I don't know.
oh man.
But yes, foot of the cross, that's where you leave
I'm
them.
digging that. I'm digging
At the end
that.
of the day, it's facts. It's facts
Yeah.
because you don't want people on your journey who are gonna be like and this is what I'll go back to. I'm gonna go back to a movie, Ten Commandments.
Oh, that's my favorite show right there. That's my favorite
And
movie.
now you remember because I'm not gonna get their names right. Sorry, I don't read the
Yeah, we
Bible.
still work. We still working on the church stuff. God is able. God is able.
Whatever, whatever. My Jesus flip tables. I say it all the time. However, let's go back to the Ten Commandment movie, and I will never forget the little old man who had the young girl. She didn't want to be with him. She wanted to be with Joshua, but he was like, "Nope, you mine." And he was like, since y'all want to be together, they kicked his ass out, right? So he had to go and travel, and he didn't want to be there. He wanted to go back
Yeah, he
and
want to go back
be
to Egypt. Yeah.
where he was. He wanted to be feeling like he on top of the world. So homeboy was on the journey with them, and he's throwing salt in the game.
The
He's
whole trip.
twisting his neck. He telling them to go get some gold. They need to go put together a cow and
Golden
shit.
calf. Yeah.
So he's sitting here jacking up the whole journey. Where
Mm-hmm.
was he supposed to be? At the bottom of the cross, at the
That's it.
foot of that bad boy.
That's
Let
it.
leave him where he was. That's
They
what he
go
was
there.
supposed to be.
They open up. The God opened up the earth on them. So
Yeah, you
you
don't
know.
want people like that on your journey.
No.
Always ready to tell you the errors and oh this is bad and this is wrong. They are always ready to point out the negative in your journey
I
rather than
like that.
taking that as a actual lesson for you to learn and grow and move forward. They taking that as oh well we need to stop. We need to turn back. No,
Yeah.
no.
Because you're gonna have those people that just satisfied in complacency. And that's so you're gonna run across those people that have got to a level and that they're okay with that. But the thing about that is I'm fine, stay at your level. But those that are at that level, if you and corporate is a fester, a cesspool of them that have gotten complacent with these positions and these titles, and of
Mhm.
them they are veiling so much of negativity that you don't really want to aspire to be to those levels because they haven't projected anything that makes you want to be like that. And such as what we do in business, we want to project that, and we want to emulate those attitudes and those experiences that people want to repeat, that people want to come back, that people want to search you out. You don't want that Nathan was his name. You don't want Nathan coming and chilling with you,
Yes,
bring you
yes.
out. Nathan was
Nathan got to
crying
go.
the whole trip. But see,
Nathan
you
got to
have
go.
people, yeah, you have people like that. You have people that just want to come. They just want to roll with you because they're looking good. They want to
Yeah,
roll with you because you're not where they are, and then you can
yeah,
bring them along. They want to roll with you because the ride is free. It's a free
yeah,
ticket. But they all the time. I think what the OJ said all the time. They want to take your place. The backstab. Nathan
yeah.
wanted to take the place, but he didn't have what it took to take the place. And
Because
then you
even when Pharaoh came through with the chariots, he was like, "Oh, they coming. We can
yeah,
go home."
yeah. He
He's
studied
like,
study crying.
"Moses trying to drown us," and God said, "No, we're gonna part this
We
right
gonna
here.
part
Come
this
on
sea.
through. Come on, walk through. I
Yeah,
got you. I got you." He's like, "What?
yeah.
What?" So you always have to make sure whoever's on your journey
Yes.
has your back and is ready to do the work. Because if
Yeah.
they're not ready to do the work with you, you need to leave them behind.
And
Plain and
have the back.
simple.
And
Plain and
have the
simple.
back don't necessarily mean they're your cheering squad.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Thank
that's
you,
that's
Martin. Yes, I saw it was Petershon. That's my mentor. For those who don't know, Miss Thing right here, Petershon.
Then Shaw say she must carry 139 and your 139 or worse, your 250.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, that's backbreaking right there when you
yes,
because it takes so much for you.
and Petershon is formerly military. So when she does
Oh,
things and
she
she make
knows.
moves, I pay attention, I listen, I ask her questions, right? Because I know if she's telling me something, she did her research, and then she'll tell me, "Go read here for yourself." So she doesn't just tell me stuff, and I'm supposed to take her word for it. She's like, "Go over here." But she's also the one who's taught me that in my own business, as I'm doing design and stuff like that, to really understand and get to know not only what the client is doing, but how can we elevate together? Because it's not always about the money, but
Yeah,
if the client isn't ready, then why are we dragging them someplace? You know what I mean? Like, why fight them?
yeah, and it's definitely true. Give on. Thank you for your service as well, from one military to another. I appreciate your service, Peter Sean. I know you're in military mind. I don't know what it is. I think Charlene just like that military hardness. You know what I mean? She can't help herself with that
Look, y'all,
guidance.
y'all drawing to me. Let's not get that twisted.
Oh man! See,
Starting
some
stuff.
some people like
Starting
some people got to humble themselves on the mighty hand. You know, it's gonna take some. It's gonna take some. But yeah,
What
when
you
you
mean?
talk,
I am humble. I
yeah,
am
I got you.
humble.
I
Don't come
got
for
you. I
me. Don't
got you.
come for
I
me.
got you. I got
When
you.
we
I
get off
got
this live, when we get off this
I
live,
got my homie back here. I got my homie back here.
he there, he there. I already told you. I already told you what he does. Flip all the.
He doing over. He did shake over some tables. Like you can't deny that. But when we're looking at these people that we're having in these, the ones that we're inviting into our circles, I mean, you definitely have to do your vetting. You definitely have to do your. But don't be afraid to take chances. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is the real success story to an entrepreneur, a
Yes.
business owner. You've taken a chance, and if you're taking this chance, ride it out, ride it out, ride it out with your purpose, ride it out with your dedication, ride it out with your vision, ride it out with the mission that you're on, ride it out with the people that you want to help. I mean, ride it out because you've taken that journey. Like Charlene said earlier, you could have just like stayed with that expertise. And I've ran into some people in my circle 20, 30, 30, 40 years, you
Ooh.
know what I mean, doing what they're doing. So they are good at what they were doing. But what they've decided is they're gonna come out of that circus and come and pour on there what they have to offer to other people. And I think that is so key that we really have to understand what we're bringing is value. If you know how to tie your shoe from the left side and you right-handed, everybody don't know how to do that. So you got value. I mean, I'm just using it simplistically, but I mean, you have value. So once you realize the value you have, dig into that value and get some help with bringing it out. Because I definitely might get you a coach. If you can't afford or whatever, get with a lot of these coaches are giving out freebies. not trying to just sell what they're doing, but a lot of people understand the times we're in, the circumstances we're in, what's befalling us with the pandemic, what our resources look like. So a lot of people is not trying to break banks with you to get you where you need to be. A lot of people really want to help you, and you have these communities such as Growth Academy, such as the intentional consulting, those kind of places like that, that will help you to be able to just start your things until you're at a place where you can get that professional, you can get that, but don't give up the journey. Don't give
Mhm.
up the journey. You know how many entrepreneurs have failed? You know what I mean? Got tired, but you need to stay the course. And we're here every Tuesday and Thursday to continue to give you tips, continue to feed you. What we learn, we pass. That's how
Yeah.
I've always been from my day first in school. I think my first test, I knew 1 plus 1, and the kid behind me didn't know, so I passed it on. From that point in time, I've been passing. So knowledge to me, knowledge gain is knowledge that I'm going to share. So we're going to share that. Charlene feels the same way, and that's why we came up with this show, because we said people need to know on the real talk, not that not that nonsense the way we always hearing, but the real talk. That's what we
Yeah.
talking about.
Because it's not about fluff. It's not about
Ooh,
keeping you blind. It's about
that's
keeping
it.
us moving forward.
That's it.
Sometimes we don't like to hear what we have to say,
That's
or what's being said to us,
right. Sometimes
but
you don't like to hear it.
sometimes it's needed. It's necessary. We need to really, if you want to take the business seriously, you want
Yes.
to really, because a lot of people want to be Amazon. You can't be Amazon because Amazon has done some grimy crap. Do you have the stomach to be Amazon?
That's what
That's
I'm
one
saying. Are
question.
you that person?
Are you that person from garage to grimy? Like, are you that
G to
person?
G, from G to G.
So,
Oh,
Carl, tell the folks where they can find you.
yo,
Um,
we've had a ball today. I just love these sessions where we can just
okay,
rattle off, because this connection is real. This connection is true. Me and Charlene, we have a lot of fun, y'all. We talk about a whole lot of things that we always leveling up. We kind of like leveling up, and we push each other so much that I'm reading more stuff to level up. So I know she can come back with more stuff to tell me that ain't enough to level up. So we go back, we go back and forth, and it's a fun thing, and it's a growing thing, and it's something that's really appreciative. I'm appreciative of it because the relationship has really just pushed me to the level of saying, yo, this is not enough. You got to go further. So you guys come and check me out. Check out this beautiful website she designed, carlshawnwatkins.com. Let her come and check it out. Look at the services that's being offered. Also, I have a my course is coming out. Looking for me to drop that, the vulnerability toolbox. I have given it a name. I was contemplating some names for a while, but I have given it a name, and it's the vulnerability toolbox. And some things I'm going to offer. I got this course part that I'm giving out that is going to be. I'm trying to see if I'm put it in my free because it went well. I did a showing of this at Wells Fargo. Give a shout out to them that I did for their VPs, and it was effective personal vulnerability.
well, it's
So
gonna
I
be a temporary freebie. Temporary.
yeah, temporary free. I'm going to be getting. Thank you for putting me in. This my
It's
cash
a
app.
trial. It's a
Yeah,
trial.
it's a file that I'm going to be that I use with them, and I use at a workshop that I did with some VPs and some executives at Wells Fargo, and it turned out really well. It was something that I was trying to. It was a beta, though I knew the information and all of that, but it was how I put it together. And I said,
Mhm.
"Yo, that's going to be an effective tool for every leader, every individual, because it's going to tap with you. It's not just a corporate thing. It's a business owner thing. It's a person thing, and it's going to elevate you to deal with the vulnerabilities you have so you can take that person to the next place and be exceptional in what you decide to do. So those are some of the things that I got working out. They got the ebook that's coming out too, vulnerability. So it's man, it's just so much going on. It's so much going on, but we're definitely going to be in touch. Also got a few things in the making. We're trying to do a vulnerability workshop. You guys keep your ears open for that. I'm looking to join with Miss Deanna Jean. Yeah, she's doing the VIP. Charlene's going to spread that news, but we're going to be doing a vulnerability workshop with some masterminds beside myself, and we're going to be talking about that too coming up soon. So stay tuned on Real Talk. You don't turn that knob. Don't touch that knob. You know how they used to tell them on TV show. Don't turn that channel.
So yeah, the VIP day, Intentional Success VIP day with Deanna Jean. We're gonna drop a lot of these links in the actual comments so you can have those. That's gonna be a 4-figure day. Folks have already been investing in themselves, investing in this
Mhm.
day, because what we're going to do is we're walking away with the tribe. We're walking away with the actual success tribe, a tribe who's going to help us take action, keep us accountable. And if
Mhm.
we need to tap on them and we say, hey, Carl got a Carl's got a session coming. We need him to fill this room. They are
Yeah.
going to be able to start taking action and helping Carl fill that room. So that's what that day is about. The VIP intentional success day. It's all about making sure that not only are we building our tribe, we're going to be taking action right then and there in the room together. So that's a whole slew of women, because this is going to be Women's Day. Carl's going to have Men's Day later. This is going to be Women's Day, where we're taking action. We're going to be on all of our social media. We're going to be on our LinkedIn. So trust, when you start seeing folks hitting you up, they're at
Yeah.
VIP Day. That's happening this Saturday. It's a four-figure day. All of us are sitting there and we are making sure that we are building success tribes, not just random tribes, not just tribes that say hello, not tribes who drop selfies all day. We are actually taking action to make sure our lives are being improved and
Yes.
everybody around us is coming up with us. So that's definitely happening. And to get people ready for that, to get people ready for the fourth quarter, because damn, 2022 is coming. It's at the door. It's like hello. But to get
Yeah.
people ready, I am doing strategy sessions, and that means your brand, your website. We're going to make sure that it's aligned with your business, because so many people are starting websites. They want to be online, but they don't know what their purpose is. They're not putting together an actual plan, and they don't know how to put people through a funnel. They don't even know what a funnel is. So that's what that whole day is about. It's a 90-minute session for $397. We are going to make sure that you are leveled up properly and you are ready for 2022, because when 2022 comes, there's no more excuses that you don't know how to do something. There's no more excuses that you don't know how to look for people. There's no more excuses that you don't know how to ask questions and
Yeah.
ask people for help the right way. All of that's about to be out the window. So get yourself ready, get yourself prepared. This is about to be a whole different ball game. So why not be part of it? Not a spectator, be an actual participant. So that's coming up. And of course, my podcast dropped. I dropped another episode
Oh. Oh. Oh.
today.
Oh. Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
Transform clicks to profit. It is all over the different platforms. So please go to your favorite platform, download it, follow, become somebody who is listening. And then, of course, leave me the feedback. I can't do better if I don't know feedback. So leave me feedback, leave me reviews. Five is nice.
That was nice.
But I'm not pushing, but I'm gonna say it again. Five is nice. So go to Transform Click
Mm.
to Profit, and it's not just about website, it's about everything from your strategy to your structure to your technology, making sure that all of it is together. So yes, I'm dropping episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. So when we on live and leaked in, you better know the podcast has a new episode. And I can't wait to hear from you guys. I can't wait for you guys to listen. And we are going to also make Real Talk a podcast. So we're going to just get that ready for y'all. So we will have show notes. We will have a website. We will have all of that ready. We just want to make sure that we are not going to make that a stopgap. We're going to keep doing our lives. We're going to keep recording our lives. We're going to keep sharing and talking with you guys. And of course, if you want to be on the live, because it's all about making sure we are showcasing you all, we
Absolutely.
are making sure you all connect with our community and you build your own communities through us. If you want to be a part of that, we are dropping the link as well. We're going to make sure that you get that so you can book with us. We want to make sure
Keep,
that we are showcasing you and we're
keep talking,
promoting you.
Charlene. Somebody rang my doorbell. Hold on.
Oh no, he
This is
didn't.
live.
Somebody ring his
This is live.
doorbell.
They knocking on the door. Hold on.
Oh Lord, alive. You see the kind of foolishness that's going on? This is why we work together. As he loved Jesus to look over us. Okay, we're going to work this out though. But I just want to make sure that you guys know that we are turning this into a actual podcast. We cannot wait. We love your support. Thank you for always coming. And like I said, you want to be a part of it, we're going to drop that link so you can be a part of it. And I too have my own guests that I will be bringing on to my podcast. I can't wait for
Oh,
that. We're
what's
going to
up?
drop
What's
that link.
up?
So Mr. Polo is
Hey.
back.
Yes, I'm back, y'all. I don't know. Yo, FedEx. See, sometimes it's a good thing when you work from home, and then it's a bad thing. FedEx came to the door, and it was a
FedEx
required
owning his business. Let me.
required
While you
signature. Like,
talk, I'm gonna promote some folks who came through and
yeah,
show
yeah. Promote
love.
some people. Promote some people. Look,
Yes.
guys, we gonna be like it's gonna be blowing up. We have so many things.
And
You
my
know what?
boy Gideon, Gideon was the one getting me together with the video child because I was like, "What?"
Yes, yes. And we
So,
still have.
I still have to order my camera. So don't be mad at me, Gideon. It's coming.
Yes, we're gonna get Martin on there.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get Lisa on there. Lisa, thank you for chiming in. We're definitely gonna get you on there.
Yes.
You guys also, I'm redoing Carl Sean's Daily Word, the podcast. That was my original outlet almost 2 years ago now, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back and revisit that and rejoin that. Charlene's gave me some inspiration to kick that back out. We are going to Clubhouse. I'm just trying to think of all the things we're doing because we're doing some major things that we're moving and shaking on, and we're going to be going into 2022, man, with some great aspirations and some great things already done. Just told you about the websites we're going to get. We're also looking to in the near future some gear. So as guests, you're going to be able to get gear. You're going to be able to order gear from the website because real talk. We're definitely working on that as well. It's just so much things that we got. The podcast is coming out. Clubhouse we going to do. We have the room. We got to schedule a day. We add the additional day, Tuesday and Thursday. We got a special guest that's going to be on Thursday. I have dropped the promo information to Shakita Jackson. I am looking forward to
I
her
can't
dropping
wait
some
for her.
gems.
Come on
Yeah,
now.
she's excited as well. I just spoke with her this morning before we got on the show, so she's excited about that. We're just going to be kicking it live, and we're just going to be doing a lot of things, guys. We appreciate you guys. I just want that to definitely be reiterated. We cannot do this without you because you don't have anybody to show up. You can have a show with no people, and it soon will not be a show. But we thank you guys so much for your love, the support that you give. Continue to drop in. Tell us where you're coming from. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your partners, tell your neighbors, tell anyone that's on LinkedIn. We do it on Facebook. We do it on not Instagram, sorry, YouTube channel. Mine scream to that. Charlene has her channels that they scream to. We also have the replay. So it's information that we can definitely get to you. If you have questions, please let us know because we want to cover things that are vital and essential to you. Not to say with the show ain't gonna go on if you don't, but what it does, it gets greater when we have your involvement. And those are the kind of things that we're looking forward to push. So, with that being said, and I appreciate you guys for letting my doorbell interrupt the live because I
And like
know
Lisa said, like what Lisa say? Mm-hmm. That
I
was
don't know.
hella country. That was hella country.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I live in Jersey. It is kind of country where I live.
See,
So,
I told you, he in a whole
that's what we
different
do.
world.
Hey, yo, when you get a package, I mean, I don't. It ain't like I'm worried about nobody stealing it from the city. But
Mm-hmm.
we got wolves, we got
Cause
deer.
y'all bored out there. They ain't got nothing else to do but take your packages. Y'all bored.
No, we got the animals, so you have to watch the animals. Deers come up on the deck and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So we want to make sure that we get those things in the
What
house.
is deer gonna do with a package? Where they going
Yo,
with?
they don't know. They just tear it up. It's
Oh,
something to bite.
okay.
It's just something to bite. They don't care. They tear it up if you sit it out there on the porch.
Well,
Believe
technically, y'all taking away their habitat, so I think
me.
that's
Yeah,
payback.
yeah. That's what they told me when I bought the house. It's like it used to be a deer patch in the back. It's like, yeah, right. Why y'all build it here then?
You done took Uncle Joe's home. They don't know what's going on.
Yo, we continue though. We keep it real talk. We appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah.
Really, really, we do. We really do. Martin, we thank you. Yeah, I'm still country, Lisa. I mean, they can't take the boy out the country. You know what I mean? Take him out, but you can't. I'm still country. Absolutely. Proud of it. Proud of it. Proud of it.
Thank you, everyone. So
Thank
we
you
are
for
heading
inviting.
out. We actually went over what 8 minutes.
Oh yeah, 8 minutes. Oh yeah, we're
Not
gonna
too
have
bad.
to we're
Not too
gonna
bad.
have to pay an over fine.
Not too bad.
Yes, and it was Lisa fault. She got the last comment.
Oh
We had to make that
no!
comment.
See, well, she can handle you when she get on the show. I'm gonna leave that where it is.
Oh
Thank
man.
you, everyone,
Thanks
and
again,
we will
everybody.
see you on the next show.
Appreciate y'all. See y'all Thursday, 10 o'clock.